Want to see more cool videos on our channel? We do, so press this bell and enable to send notifications.
At some point in our lives, each of us has swallowed something we shouldn't have. Perhaps it was a tiny piece of plastic, a bit of toothpaste, or even a whole tooth. Usually, this wouldn't be a problem as things like this would simply slip through our digestive systems and exit, well, you know where. Yet, the human body can handle so much more. When it comes to people's intentions, different things can be shoved into different places. Of course, it can happen accidentally, but sometimes it's a deliberate action for sexual pleasure or criminal purposes. Stupidity will always find a way to amaze the world of medical science and entertain those who know better. Number 7. Ballpoint Pens. A man from China recently had 2 ballpoint pens removed from his stomach 36 years after he swallowed them on a drunken bet. Despite having the 11.9 centimeter, 4.7 inch pens lodged in his digestive tract for over 3 decades, doctors thought they were already digested, as they didn't cause him any discomfort or produce any symptoms. Number 6. Glass door. Back in China again, another man took body shots a bit too far. Apparently, the man had the glass stuck in his anus for 2 days in late 2017 before he was rushed to a hospital. During those 2 days, he tried to remove it himself, using a variety of tools and ways, only to have it break into separate chunks because of the intense swelling. Hence, he was rushed to the hospital. The tumbler measured 7 centimeters, 2.8 inches in diameter. Doctors failed to remove it by hand, so they scheduled an emergency abdominal operation to take it out. Much to the man's relief, doctors successfully removed the glass. How the glass wound up in there remains unknown. The man has since made a full recovery and didn't sustain any injury from the broken glass. Number 5. Bottle. In 2014, a 60-year-old man in China was desperate and frustrated by his constipation. So, he shoved an entire bottle of laxatives up his rectum, obviously exceeding the recommended dosage. He thought that he could use the entire bottle as a stimulant to relieve himself of his stubborn bowel movements. Needless to say, he failed miserably. The man went to a hospital to have the bottle removed after it became fully lodged inside his anus. Luckily, doctors took the bottle out without causing any damage. But the x-rays went viral after the physician's colleagues shared them on social media. Number 4. Mushrooms. In early 2017, an assortment of mushrooms had to be removed from the stomach of a 50-year-old woman because she didn't chew them properly. Surprisingly, the mushrooms actually started to grow inside her stomach. In fact, it was the perfect environment, dark and damp, for the fleshy, fruiting body of a fungus to thrive. Some of the mushrooms had grown to the staggering size of 7 centimeters, 2.8 inches long. The mushrooms became stuck because the woman had cooked them without soaking them and then swallowed the mushrooms whole. Soon, she began suffering from stomach aches so severe that she had to go to a hospital. Doctors operated and managed to safely remove the mushrooms. The woman has since made a full recovery. Number 3. Cockroach. They are the kitchen culprits we all love to hate and often the reason behind a man's girly squeal. But what if one of them ventured where no roach had ever dared to go? Perhaps your skull. In early 2017, a 42-year-old woman from India woke up to tingly, crawling sensations in her right nostril. Thinking she was simply catching a cold, the domestic worker tried to go back to sleep, only to be plagued by different movements inside her nose. She spent the rest of the night awake, waiting for the morning sun to appear on the horizon before she could go to a hospital. She suspected the problem to be an insect of some kind, as every movement made her eyes burn. The woman was referred to 3 different hospitals before doctors scanned her skull and discovered an apparent, mobile foreign body. Finally, they used an endoscope to find the cockroach in the skull base, right between her eyes and dangerously close to her brain. Doctors quickly used forceps and suction devices to remove the annoyance. After 12 hours, the bug was safely extracted and surprisingly still alive. Doctors were actually relieved to find the insect still alive, as it could have caused a deadly infection if it had died. Number 2. Kinder Surprise Eggs. Damian O'Reilly, a 20-year-old known drug smuggler, hatched an idea that would make him a fortune. Since drugs sell for 10 times the street value in prison, all he had to do was find a way to get sent to jail and smuggle in the drugs. He hooped, a slang term used in prison for hiding contraband in your rectum, 8 Kinder Surprise eggs filled with marijuana, matches, tobacco, and rolling papers, and set about his plan. Since he was already on probation, he thought that a simple throw of a rock at a police cruiser would get the job done. He got arrested in minutes and was immediately sent to jail where he was to be held for bail. Then things started to go south. A guard was suspicious that O'Reilly was smuggling drugs and sent him to a dry cell, a cell without any plumbing. The guards kept an eye on him and waited for the contraband to be expelled one way or another. Then the guards planned to seize it. When O'Reilly couldn't handle the discomfort anymore, he removed the eggs himself and was later found guilty of drug trafficking. He finally got his wish and was sentenced to 2 years in prison. Number 1. Money. In 2017, a 26-year-old man in Florida stuffed over $1,000 in drug money up his rectum to hide it from the police. The man was with his 7-month-old child when he was pulled over for a routine traffic stop. An officer noticed the smell of marijuana coming from within the car. Officers then removed the man from his car and searched for any drugs. They discovered 197 grams of meth, rock cocaine, and 4 grams of heroin. They also found a scale, a large amount of cash, and marijuana. Once the suspect was taken into custody at the local police station, officers realized that the money they had recovered from the scene was missing. Though the suspect insisted that he had already forked over the cash, a strip search later revealed where he was hiding it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button, share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch my next video.